And now, the number 5 coach who never won a championship, Dan Reeves.
Big deals is the catfish fry, yeah. But they'll do some chicken or something for people that don't eat catfish. Catfish is my favorite fish because we used to raise them on the farm, and you can cook them. You cook them any way, fry them or broil them or whatever.
Dan Reeves was a wonderful coach because you knew exactly where he stood, his principles, his background. Whenever you saw Dan Reeves, you thought about those Dallas Cowboys and the Ice Bowl. That was a good thing. The bad thing is that you also thought about this was a guy that couldn't win the big one.
We had 4 cracks at the Super Bowl. The '89 Broncos had no chance against the 49ers, and the score showed. The '98 Falcons had no chance against the Broncos, and the score showed.
Denver Broncos have beaten the Atlanta Falcons 34-19.
But the two that I think probably continue to gnaw at Dan Reeves when he's laying in bed at night would be the '86 Broncos and '87 Broncos. They led both of those 2 Super Bowls. They had a chance to win each game. They didn't get it done.
We led it all year in our division, so you can't ask for much more from a group of guys than that.
I mean, that's difficult, to take. But, there's also a lot of people that would, just die to have been in one of those.
I never thought of Dan Reeves as a great head coach. I think he's a little high on this list. He gave order to a few franchises that needed it, but he wasn't a great motivator.
Guys, let's go for 60 minutes. Win this thing on 3.
He wasn't very emotional.
I know how excited you are, because I am too.
Reeves suffered from the Landry syndrome. Instead of a heart, he's got a computer.
The question is, did our number 5 coach have the right hardware to avoid a crash?
Dan Reeves had John Elway, but when you look at those teams, they didn't often have a lot else around John Elway.
He never had the best team going into those Super Bowls. Who was the running back on those great Bronco teams? Who was their great wide receiver? Who were their great tight ends? Nobody.
But there is somebody who takes the blame for losing.
I always felt like that one thing that a head coach is responsible for is to making sure that his football team plays as well as it possibly can. I don't feel like I got my football team to play as well as they could possibly play, and that's my responsibility. It's nobody else's. Games like this won by great plays, by great individuals. We got a bunch of them on this team. Let's make sure we're going hard to get them.
Reeves did have his share of success and is only one of 8 coaches in league history with over 200 wins.
Great job, John. Proud of you.
Hall of Famer. Why is he not in the Hall of Fame? No disrespect to Marv Levy. He's in the Hall of Fame. He lost all his Super Bowls. Bud Grant lost all of his Super Bowls. Dan's got so many more wins. And he won Coach of the Year in 3 different cities.
He took what I thought was a very underwhelming Giants team and had them right in the playoffs his first year. That's a great coaching mind.
He's got to find his place in the Hall of Fame. He's a great coach, not a good coach.
One of the overlooked things in sports is the fact that Dan Reeves had his heart surgery during 1998. Just an incredible story. And it was all part of that incredible team.
And the Falcons advance to the NFC Championship for the first time in team history.
Here's their coach coming out of the hospital bed to lead them to the Super Bowl. That's pretty amazing.
Falcons are going to the Super Bowl. The Falcons have done it.
The story ended as expected for a coach on this list.
I think it would have been very, very sweet for him to be able to beat John Elway in a Super Bowl, and it's unfortunate for him that he wasn't able to do it. I'm sure it made that loss feel even worse. Like, not this guy. Why this guy again?
At least I'm on the list.